All right, welcome to the W2W Live special update show. I am the Knight, and joining me from the LA studios is Raider Pirate. What's up, Pirate?
Hey, what's going on, man? It looks like your top of your head's cut off, though. I don't know if it's just
Yeah,
my
man.
screen or not, but
No, it's my new haircut, man.
oh,
You
there you
know,
go. It's a
yeah,
flat
yeah,
top, flat
yeah,
top. That's good to
yeah,
go.
yeah. I was going for the mullet look,
That shit's good
but
to go.
the
No, no,
Rogaine.
no,
I ran
no.
out of
That's not
Rogaine.
good.
No.
You have a rounder type of face. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like the
no.
mullet's not. Yeah, that shit's not. No,
What about a mohawk? Should I go mohawk?
you could. I think you can pull it off.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
might
for
look into
sure.
that. All right, I'm gonna order my
You should
Rogaine.
do like one of those Fu Manchu type things that comes all the way. You know what I mean? And a mohawk. I think you'd have it. You'd have it set.
Nah,
Yeah, be
man.
good to go.
I don't know. I don't know. It's been, as you can see, guys, it's been a busy week, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. It's been, we've been, with the NFL meetings going on and everything, we've been working the phones. We've been talking to our new contacts and trying to line up certain information. We put together a lineup that Pirate's going to get into, but we've been listening to you guys. We've been listening to what Jerry's been telling us. Jerry runs a lot of our back stage stuff, analytics and things like that. And we're going to change some things up. I think we finally got the right format we want to run. As far as some of the shows, we were trying to really focus in on the whole what's going on in Las Vegas, Oakland type stuff, but the information changes with like in the hour. Okay. One source says this, the other source says that. This is back and forth. So what we decided to do on that front is that's what's happened the last few days is we're just going to let this all simmer down. Right now, there's a ton of smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I've always said that. But until the smoke starts to clear a little bit, I think we're going to kind of just detour around a little bit. Like I said, let the smoke clear, and then we'll get back into that. So we're going to start just focusing on moving forward on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we will be getting definitely into that tomorrow. We're going to be rolling out a new lineup. We're really excited about it. And on that note, Pirate, why don't you go ahead and let them know exactly what this lineup is shaping out to look like?
Yeah, so like Knight said, when we started this, it was kind of just about, the two of us kind of sitting down and talking some football and doing it very similar to the way that it has been done, I think, in the past, with people just kind of sitting in front of a computer and just having a conversation, talking to YouTube and then getting a response back. And what we found was one of the biggest things that people liked was the ability to call in to talk to us, but they also really liked the different guests that we were bringing on. And so it was really, really difficult in the editing process, bringing those people on and getting everything corrected. We'd have errors here and errors there. The shows were still good, but we kind of began to realize we could do some different things, bring on more guests, and so we tried that, and it kind of worked. So all that being said, what we're focusing on now, our numbers are showing that the daily show is certainly growing. And so what we want to do is we want to take from the weekly show those guests that we're bringing on, and we kind of want to slot it out a little bit more like a radio show. So what we want to do is on Monday talk to a particular guest about the Sunday game. On Tuesday, kind of talk about anything relevant, injuries, the team, maybe even what's going on, stadium situations, although we're not going to get too much into that. Wednesday, we want to get kind of a fan's perspective. So we got some really cool ways of doing that with some super fans, and also some guys that are traveling to all of the different stadium locations, including guys like Violator, Charlie Boots, Jade Enigma, guys like that. And then on Thursday, we really want that sort of voice from the other side, the opposing voice. And so we're going to bring in somebody that is going to be able to give us the 411 that we need to know about the team that we're going to be facing. And then on Friday, we're going to try to do our most ambitious thing yet. We're going to try to go ahead and run an open phone line Friday. We think we finally know how to do this. Fans will be able to call in and they'll be able to talk to us. We'll let you know when we're going on, very similar to Facebook. And you guys will then be able to call in and listen to the show and comment and talk about what it is that we're talking about. We're going to have a question of the day that we're going to ask you guys, and you can leave it in the comments. But on the question of the day, you guys will actually be able to interact with us. So that being said, we're still going to do the weekly show. It's just going to be smaller, and it's actually probably going to be released Saturday night late, and you'll be able to watch it Sunday before the games. And we'll still be doing our after show, which is something that we really enjoy. in terms of connecting with our community. But the way that it is going to go is pretty much like this. Mondays, our weekly contributor, the heart of the nation, will be Raider Greg from the Raider Nation podcast. He has agreed to come on every Monday and talk with us about what he saw. So you'll be getting the Knights' opinion, you'll be getting the Pirates' opinion, and you'll be hearing from one of the greatest of all time, the original Raider Greg, who will be breaking down what we saw the week before. On Tuesday, we've got a call out to Stephen Michaels, who's a normal guest on our show. He's been on our show a few times, and we've been, kind of going back and forth and sharing information. But he most likely, hopefully, will be able to come on. If not, there are some other guys that we've got, a few other podcasters that we actually have some feelers out to now. On Wednesday, Charlie Boots from Boots on the Ground. This is a guy that's traveling around everywhere. He's going to all of these games, and he's our Boots on the Ground. This guy is going to all the different Raider events. He's covering what's going on before the game. He's live there. They're broadcasting at the game. We've also got guys like Jade Enigma that'll be coming on, Violator, and other guys that will be reporting live what they saw at the game. And that'll be on Wednesday. So we'll be talking to those people as they prepare to go to the next game. So they'll be telling us what happened at the last game and what they're going to be doing at the next game. And then on Thursday, Louis T from In the Lab with Louis T will be coming on every Thursday, and he'll be breaking down the opponent in a way that only he can. Louis T covers the league like a blanket. So we look forward to hearing his analysis. He had great analysis about this Kansas City Chief game. And we look forward to sitting down and talking with him. And then, like we said, on Friday, you guys, that's right, you guys will be able to call in, whoever wants to call in. We're going to put the 800 number out there. You'll only be able to hear the show by being on the 800 number, but if you're on there, we're going to get to you. So we'll start off the show, and the amount of people that call at a certain time will shut down the phone line, but you'll be able to get on and share your opinion on the Friday show. And then, like we said, we'll be releasing a very, very cut down version of our weekly pregame show that you can see beginning Sunday morning, early morning. We're going to release it late Saturday night so that it doesn't interfere with the 10 o'clock games like people were telling us, but you will be able to watch it in the event that we have a 1 o'clock game like we did this week. I just kind of sat there like, this sucks. I can't wait to get to 1 o'clock. And then once we got to 1 o'clock, I couldn't wait to get to next Sunday, if you know what I mean. So that is the lineup right now. We're super excited. Once again, we're going to be going in a slightly different direction. We're moving toward most of our focus going into the daily show, but having aspects of the weekly show sprinkled into that daily show, having much more interaction with you guys, and then moving forward from there. Our numbers show that no matter what it is that we do, where we go, and what time slot we use, we generally our audience is tending to follow us. And once again, we want to give huge shout outs to Facebook. Our Facebook community has grown. The people there that support us, all the admins, all the people that are reposting and posting up things, our numbers have grown incredibly. We just passed 5,000 subscribers. Only one more hurdle to go out there. So Dylan, we're coming for you. Just know we're coming for you, brother. But in all seriousness, man, we're growing, and it's because of the support of the Raider Nation, and it's the support of all of the wonderful people that have come on and collaborated with us and made this into much more than just me and Jason kind of sitting here talking to each other and having you guys kind of be a fly on the wall. And instead really sort of becoming a new sort of news or media outlet. I'm going to let Jason jump in here, but we said it on show number 1. We said, if you're a Raider fan, you got to go here, you got to go there. You can't watch ESPN, you can't watch this, you can't watch that. And that's the legacy media, folks. That's the old school. I got to go and watch NFL Network. I got to go and watch Raiders.com. I'm sorry, not Raiders.com, but I got to go and watch NFL Network, ESPN, Sports Center, Colin Cowherd, whatever. I got to wait on the radio until I hear somebody talk about the Raiders. And we were dedicated to just coming on here and having something a place where you guys can go and listen to Raider stuff all day, every single day. And that's what we are. We are the new breed, and we take that responsibility seriously. We want to be as professional as possible. We want to deliver the best, absolute best content to you guys as we possibly can. And so once again, like we said, there's a new alternative to that legacy media, that old school. Maybe they'll talk about the Raiders, but maybe they'll talk about the Warriors, and maybe they'll talk about the Giants, and maybe they'll talk about the A's, and maybe they'll talk about boxing or hockey or whatever it is. The new style of media is really niche based. And as we're making all of these connections with all of these different reporters, all of these different podcasters, we really want to create a network that you guys are going to be absolutely proud of. So I've talked my ear off, man. I apologize about that, partner. Go ahead.
No problem. I just want to make sure your wife brought out your oxygen tank and you're good to go. I don't want you passing out.
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
No,
all right,
no,
then
no.
we're good. Hey, she took care of you then. We're fine. We're good.
It's all good.
She's got.
I got a shot. I got an epinephrine. She gave me an epinephrine shot right before we got on.
I could tell. I could tell. I think she has some adrenaline up in there too, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, this is great, guys. I mean, I know it seems like we're constantly changing, but we don't look at it as changing. We're evolving. We're kind of taking what works and making changes to make it a better product for you guys. And that's what we want to do. We've gone several different directions, but the one direction that I totally like is that for all you guys who've been with me for a while, since I've been here on YouTube, it was the old school me just talking to my computer, hoping anybody would lay an ear on it. Now we are interacting. I wanted to be more interactive. That's exactly what we're doing. So if it's not with you guys on our after show, which we're going to try to get that more to you on the Friday show, now we're going out and we're talking to other podcasters, other, sources of Raider material, Raider media, and even finding people that can give us the insight on our upcoming opponents. It's been a total whirlwind since we started this, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving the interactions. I'm loving all the people that we're meeting. We started off just wanted to basically be that place that reviews the news. Now we're actually really kind of getting our own little niche and finding different sources of our own that can give us different kind of information that we could put out. It's just constantly growing. And I'm sure this is not the last time it's all going to happen that way. I'm sure this is going to evolve into something else. What that is, I don't know, but I'm excited just to continue to move ahead and move forward to get to that point, because like Pirate said, it's a whole new media market now. You got places like YouTube, you got other social media outlets where you could go and just get your Raider feed. You don't have to wait and sit through an hour show on ESPN and wait for them to mention the Raiders for 2 minutes. You could come here every day and get a half hour's worth of Raider material. And if it's not Raider material, it's going to be about the person we're facing, which makes it Raider material, right? What's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars? We'll get into that tomorrow. But what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars? How do they match up? What's going on with our defense? What's going on with our offense? What is the next step for this coaching staff? And then as we head into the offseason, I'm sure the format will change because we'll have a ton of things to talk about. So it's just been a whirlwind ride, and I'm excited. Every day that this show involves, I just get more and more excited. I think back to the day when it was just me sitting here talking to my computer, just waiting for the comments to grow. And because once again, I'm let it out there. I throw it out there every once in a while. I'm visually impaired. So it was really hard for me to interact with all of you on a regular basis, but now having a partner on the other side, we found ways to really get the communication going, and then reached out and got some amazing people with amazing analysis on this football team. They got their hand on the pulse of this football team, just like we do. And it's turning out to be really, really good content. So again, as we move forward, we want to thank you all. I mean, the subscribers have it's just been crazy. So big shout out to all of our supporters here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You guys have really, stepped your game up, sharing our material, continue sharing our material. Let's get this thing to grow. We want to build a really tight community that's Raider based, and we'll just keep bringing the content.
Yeah. And, again, to kind of touch on it, just to make you guys aware of the process, Jerry is our guy who does a lot of the back of the house stuff. So he looks at the traffic that we get. He looks at the different times that we're doing things and brings up these lists to us and just basically says, look, if you come out at 3:00 with a particular show, you don't have as many people as watch you over a particular period of time, but you're getting the same people from the same areas, the same. So, you're not getting the Tennessee Titan fan who's coming and watching our show. You're literally getting the same Raider fan day in and day out. And we just weren't getting that in terms of our Friday or even our after show. A lot of times, because of the tags that we were using, people would come and then they would go. But since we've really started targeting these things and collaborating with other people, that's really driven the market into a more Raider-centric type of market where we're just kind of interacting with you guys. And once again, it gives us the opportunity to talk with you guys and to give back to you guys and to do those different types of things. So again, we tried different times, we tried different formats, we tried different groupings. We had on different people, we had on different breakdowns. Some of them worked and some of them didn't. So like Knight said, the evolution may seem a little bit sporadic, but we really needed to know what was our niche, where were we going to go? And that's why we call ourselves the Premier with an E. It's not Premier as the number one. It's Premier as in we're introducing something new. We want to introduce something new. We want to introduce a new type of program. We want to introduce a new type of format. We want to introduce a new type of show. We want to premiere for you guys something that you can be proud of as Raider fans. And again, we get told all the time through emails, through phone callers, hey man, we don't have anything out here. We appreciate what you guys are doing. And that's why we're doing it, because of the fact that, we can't help out our East Coast brothers and sisters and the people that don't have access like we do to this type of information. So we're going to continue, like Knight said, we're going to continue to try to figure it out, and maybe we'll go longer than 30 minutes, or maybe, we're doing some things on Facebook and we're doing some other things in order to grow our communities there. But we're pretty much a visual medium. And we're a team type medium. So YouTube is always, I think, going to be, unless Facebook completely changes their format, YouTube will always, I think, be home. I didn't have the opportunity to do what Knight is doing, have a following of people that kind of came and followed me. I'm sort of Johnny come lately. I'm here, I'm giving my opinion, and that's that. But it's working. What we're doing is working. What Jerry has helped us do as our social media expert has really kind of paved the way. Now we don't even question it when he comes and he says, hey, you guys need to try to do something a little more along the lines of this and this. When we sit down, when me and Jason sit down, it's kind of no more like, I don't, and you guys too. I mean, I think that's the thing, is that all the comments that we get, all the people that come in and they say, hey, you guys should do this, you guys should do that. I'm not going to stop doing that. That's just who I am. I'm not going to stop touching the microphone or adjusting it. That's just who I am. And the Knight's not going to grow an afro. I got a picture, by the way, of the Knight with an afro. We may share that on Facebook on a Throwback Thursday. But like I said, the thing is, we'll change what we can change if it's good for the show, because we really do want the show to be the best possible show. But again, like I said, we don't even question it anymore. When Jerry comes to us and tells us to do something, we know we're looking at the track record, we're seeing the improvements that we're making. Yeah, go ahead, Knight.
Yeah, and on that note, one of the things that we were already caught on to this. We've gotten several emails, guys. It's probably, I think the last time I counted, it was maybe 10 to 15 around that area, just from the email side, of just parents. There's parents out there that have reached out to us thanking us for keeping this PG, guys. They understand, it slips from time to time. We're human, but 99.9% of the time it's PG. And there's a reason why we do that. There is some young Raider fans out there that are watching this show, and that's excites me, because I have children. So I want my daughter to be able to watch it. I was in her class this morning, in fact, and the little boy that sits next to her today was wearing a Raider shirt. And I was just like, wow. And it was very cool for me just to be like, hey, man, I have my Raider shorts on. I'm like, I got the logo too. And he was just like, yeah, he's kind of a quiet kid. And I thought to myself, you know what, when I come back, we want to get some cards made. I'm going to give him a card, because I want him, to feel comfortable that he could come on YouTube, he could show his parents, and they could watch this show. So this little young Raider fan that's in third grade could actually come on and learn about the Raiders. Now he'll probably play video games more maybe at this point. But like we said, there's been some emails where some families sit down and actually watch our show. So that's why we do it. We want to reach all ages, all genres, families, non-families. We have a fun time. We keep it real, but we just want to make sure that we're family friendly.
Yeah, and that's again, that's another great point. I have nothing against people who swear. I have nothing against people who drink or who get a little bit too riled up or whatever it is, man. I like to go out and do my thing. And, when the camera's not rolling, I yell and scream and do all the stuff that I would normally do. But we are trying to keep it above board. That's why we don't wear Raider stuff all the time. I always say Charles Woodson and Howie Long don't have to wear Raider stuff every time they're on. It doesn't, what you're wearing doesn't make you a Raider fan. But at the same time, these kids are young and impressionable. My daughter's Girl Scout troop. They watch the show. They do this thing called Musical.ly, and they send videos back and forth, and I'll see them posting clips and doing different types of things. So even in the comment section, and like I said, we would never ever try to control the narrative. I don't care what you guys say, and I don't care what you say about me. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Our guests, we've said it before, please, respect them for the time that they've taken. But I really don't care if you call me stupid or I, sound like I'm sucking on sweets or I'm, what, it doesn't matter to me. I'm a big boy. I don't get fazed by it. It's all good. Do what you got to do. I always say it says more about you than it does about me. You know what I'm saying? When people call us on the phone or talk to us or we talk to them, they all say, hey man, you guys are doing a great job. And that's kind of what we bank on. So we're not too concerned. But again, those people may come on, see those comments and say, wow, man, I'm not going on there again. Those guys hated me. Those guys think this does. Even if you guys are joking, we do just ask you, just respect our guests. Again, talk all you want about, the Oakland Knight and his afro from 1987 or myself, and whatever. But, just please respect our guests. Now, with that being said, why don't we jump in real fast? Because, again, we're kind of here. Let's see if anybody posted up anything. It's time for Norton's job to be on the line in the Jags game. There's also a very good chance of moving to Vegas. Your thoughts, Knight?
I agree on both things that were said. Number one, Ken Norton's job should be on the line. It's tough. We did a piece that we didn't get out, but let's keep this in perspective, guys. Ken Norton is a linebacker, a very good linebacker, and a great linebacker coach. It's possible that maybe it's not so much the defensive coordinator position as is the scheme that he's trying to teach. Yes, he started coaching with Pete Carroll. Yes, he was with Pete Carroll for years. But there's a reason why Pete Carroll did not make him the defensive coordinator, and I think we're seeing that. So maybe he still needs to become the student. He could become Jack Del Rio's student and just learn Jack's system, his philosophy, and grow from it. Right now he's trying to run a Pete Carroll system without Pete Carroll. You got guys like Dan Quinn over there in Atlanta that's trying to run a Pete Carroll system without Pete Carroll. It don't look like Seattle's defense either. So again, it's definitely time for some changes. It's time to make some adjustments. And if Ken Norton has to be shown the door, I'm fine with it. As far as the Vegas thing, that's one of the reasons why we keep pumping the brakes. In the all-around picture, I think the Raiders do have a large chance to move to Vegas. It's going to take a lot and take some pretty big things to happen to keep them in Oakland. But, it would be amazing if they could pull it off. I'm rooting for Oakland. I'm rooting to see if they could find a way, but we've been waiting a very long time and we've gotten nothing. Now, the NFL doesn't have a plan. And as far as from the city, not the NFL itself, I'm sure the NFL could come up with something quickly. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But right now, Vegas, to me, holds the cards.
All right, real quick here. Your thoughts, Jack Del Rio blaming the fans for being too loud at home games. Is that a BS excuse or does it have some credibility?
I think it's a BS excuse, man. Look, we're winning on the road. And as passionate and as loud as we are, we're no louder than any other stadium we played in this season. Our offense just thrives in it. Now, I get the whole communication thing on defense, and I'm sure that's where he was going with it, because we are so loud, and usually that hurts your defense when you're at home because you're trying to mess up with the offense, but now they can't communicate. Hey, look, we do it all the time. We play bad defense in New Orleans. We played bad defense in Baltimore, and we played bad defense. Where was the other one? Slipping my mind right now. Anyways, in Tennessee. Everywhere. In Tennessee, I mean, we're giving up an average of 428 yards per game. I don't think our home crowd is the only reason why they can't communicate. So to me, flat out BS.
All right. Why would you guys come on now? You're competing with the presidential debates. I'll take this one. Watch us later or watch them later. Both will be on YouTube at your leisure. So this is not 1977 when you could either watch, Happy Days or we're landing on the moon or whatever it is. I don't know what year exactly that was. And real quick, last question here. Do you think the home field advantage will be gone if we move to Vegas?
That's a great question, and that question has been put out there quite a bit lately. And long-term answer, I don't really have that. I think that anytime a team moves into a city, everything's up in the air, right? But you're only going to give up your home field advantage if your regular fan base ain't buying up all the season tickets. The way that the NFL works is they got things locked up. There's two ways you do this, right? You get your fans to buy the tickets that they sell. Then they set aside a portion for the other market. So the visiting team gets a portion. All Raider fans can't buy all that up. So you're always going to have the opposing team in your stadium, or the potential to. The catch here is, as long as you got the product on the field and you're like we have right now, no matter where you're at, the Raider fans are going to want to flock to wherever it is to see what's happening with the Raiders. Derek Carr throwing bombs to Mari Cooper, Khalil Mack getting sacks, all that good stuff. So that's one end of it. But if they can't really market the team correctly in Vegas and they can't get fans to go to the stadium, then absolutely. In fact, I'm going to put this out there right now. Received an email. My brother received an email today. All that stuff goes to him. But there's a survey that's already been put out by the NFL asking fans if they would travel to Vegas to watch their team. It's not specifically sent out to Raider fans. It's sent out to, and my brother got it, so I don't know if he signed up to NFL.com. I checked my email. I haven't seen anything yet. Or it could be just to season ticket holders because they got all that information wide. Because the letter didn't say, the letter did not read, it asked, the letter had actually, what is your team? What team do you like? What teams do you follow? So it wasn't directed just at Raider fans. So they're already asking that question. Now, I was talking to my brother and I said flat out, look, if you are, because I know a lot of people that at least like to travel once a year to a game. There's a lot of fans that like to at least do it once. So if you're on the East Coast or anywhere in the United States and you got the Raiders on your schedule and they're playing in Vegas, man, that's a win-win situation, right? So unfortunately, I could see a lot of the opposing teams flying in and grabbing up tickets. So yes, that could, long story, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, it's definitely a possibility that we could lose the home field advantage if the product we put out is not good enough. Because I believe if our product's good enough, we fill up the stadium regardless.
All right. And one more real quick, because I think this is a really good one. Albert puts out a question there. Pirate and Knight, do you think Penn cheated on his wife? And being out on social media, will it affect his play or maybe be a distraction to him? And I'll jump on that one first. Donald Penn, you got to give the guy credit. That is not a Denzel Washington, you know what I'm saying? Like a super handsome. He's kind of, I don't know. He's just it just doesn't strike me as that guy. You look at his wife, beautiful, beautiful woman, nice body, beautiful face, I'm sure wonderful Christian woman. And then you look at this other woman and, strikingly attractive. So I can't see how that can't be a distraction. You kind of got to come in, you got to deal with it, you got to deal with everybody talking smack, you got to deal with relatives, you got to deal with your in-laws, you got to deal with the allegations, you got to deal with the wife. Now you're going away for 2 weeks. Now you're heading off for 2 weeks. The wife's like, we coming with you. So now she's in a hotel. She got there's a car following you around. There's a man in a tuxedo with sunglasses. He's just watching you. You got private investigators. You got TMZ. You got everybody popping out of everywhere. So I'm not exactly sure how it can't affect you. Does it affect you during the game? And I've heard it so many times where people will say, look, man, this is my only solace. This is the only place where I could come. And for 60 minutes, or however long it is, 3 hours, that I can forget about all that I can just get out here and I could just do what comes natural, muscle memory, just get out here and do what I do. Last week and the week before in the San Diego game, he looked like he was wearing down, folks. I hate to say it, but Joey Bosa beat him one-on-one, and last week he was allowing a lot of pressure against Kansas City. And again, that may have been because of the field and everything else. But I think this is going to be helpful for him. I think he really needs the opportunity to kind of shut everything else out and go out there, because if he is wearing down and then he allows these mental games to become a problem, we could be in trouble, right?
Well, I'm a big proponent of turning a negative into a positive. A lot of things that happen into our lives that are negative are self-induced. I talk to my kids about it all the time, especially my son now that he's 20. I always tell him, if something is negative in your life, it's usually something you did to make it that way. Now, there's certain things that are out of control. You never know when your boss is going to have to lay you off due to bad economy or something like that. But, there's a difference between being laid off because he has to cut back his staff versus you being laid off because you call in sick too much or you're always late, things of that nature, right? So there's a lot of the negativity that is in our life that we cause. So whatever Donald Penn's going through, he's got to understand as a man, and I'm sure he does, it's his fault. He's the one who created this demon for himself. But that being said, he's a grown man, he's a professional. As long as he learns to control the situation when he's not on the field to where it's not affecting his sleep, so hopefully his wife's not there beating the heck out of him all night or things like that. You get the proper sleep. But you got to understand, this puts him in a situation where he's frustrated. So do I think it's going to be a distraction on the field? No. I think, like Pirate kind of touched on, I think this could help him. If he's starting to wear down, he could take up a lot of this, TMZ, these guys just keep, he's got all this built up aggression. All right, get on the line. As soon as that ball snaps, just knock the person off, dude. Just smack him with what you got. If Donald Penn was our quarterback, I'd be a little bit more concerned, because there's a lot more mental progressions that a guy like Derek Carr would have to go through. So if he has all this stuff, oh man, my wife, he's not going to be able to read.
But maybe that's why this guy's knees are getting weak. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why he's wearing down. Maybe last year, you know what I mean? Nobody caught him. And at the end of the year, he was just doing the bunny rabbit thing. Again, this is a show for everybody involved, right. But once again, I mean, it comes down to the fact of, look, as a professional athlete, you got to take care of your body. Like Knight said, you got to get the right amount of sleep. These guys spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They have pills. They have, masseuses. They've got people, chiropractors. They go and they do, acupuncture and everything else just to have their body, somewhat straight. Now you're banging your head, you're doing this, you're doing that. And now, like Knight said, you start getting frustrated, you start getting angry. And this is an angry man's sport. So, once again, we'll see. But I just thought it was an interesting question, because I was like, Donald Penn, my man, those are some beautiful women. I got to say, the temptations, the money, the fame, the temptations, those are some beautiful women. But he has a fantastic role model in Derek Carr. Derek Carr can come over to him and just put his hands on him, be like, Satan, and just boom, knock him backward, and then pray with him. And it could all be, for the benefit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Napoleon Kaufman, Kaufman style. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And I believe that this is an opportunity for all these players. I mean, I don't approve of what Donald Penn did. And I'll say that first and foremost. I mean, you're a married man.
That's some beautiful women, man.
Yeah, I get you. But stay faithful, stay true. That's my motto. But
absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's a life learning experience. Not all of us, share the same values and morals, but having guys like Khalil Mack, Derek Carr, most importantly, Amari Cooper, they're building a community there. It's Raider Church. You hear that all the time, right? It's becoming Raider Church. So, and we're not saying that it has to be a come to Jesus moment. We're just saying, hey, for a family, a place where these guys can lean on each other and get good moral values out of it. Just the good moral values. Derek Carr displays that, Khalil Mack displays that, and a guy like Amari Cooper so far expresses those kind of things too. All right, partner, do we got anything else, or is it time to wrap it up?
No, I believe that's it, man. I think we got to be in and be out.
Cool. All right, this is what we do, guys. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to have our guest on. We're going to cover the Jacksonville game. So for the Raider Pirate and his puppies, and for the night, this has been brought to you by the Will to Win broadcast. And we'll catch you guys on the flip. Stay Raider strong.